What's up, fellow budget tone chasers, to one more video here at the channel. This time, we'll talk about the biggest hype of 2024 until now, the IK Multimedia TONEX ONE. Since IK Multimedia released the pre-order of this gear, tons of sponsored reviews popped up out here in YouTube. And honestly speaking, none of them seem to show a real deal breaker in this piece of gear. Could it be true? Let's find it out. The TONEX ONE is the natural evolution of the previously well-sold TONEX pedal, this time in a really compact casing, being 1/4 of the original TONEX size. Crazy, eh? But it's not only compact, it's promised to be as powerful as the original TONEX pedal. Can it be possible? This statement is based on the fact that the TONEX ONE has exactly the same algorithm for capture execution than the TONEX pedal, which is known in the market as the most similar to the original amp captures. It means that you're able to download more than 15,000 tone captures of amps, preamps, drive pedals, or any other combination of those for free in the ToneNET. At the moment that we are recording this video, as new captures are being released every single day. This is for sure impressive. More than that, it is a real breakthrough innovation when it comes to compact rigs or even combinations of gear. The TONEX ONE is not only smaller in size, it's also smaller in price. Unfortunately, not 1/4 of the price as it is in the size. But what about user experience? Let's understand how this equipment works, and later I'll share with you my 50 cents on how I dealt with its interface. The TONEX ONE has a compact interface composed of 3 mini knobs, a bigger main knob, and an out button and the foot switch. The combination of those controls allows you to change 8 parameters: bass, mid, treble, and volume as main functions, and as well gate, comp, reverb, and gain when the out button is pressed. The foot switch allows you to enter on tuning mode by pressing it and holding until the out button blinks in white, and also to change channels or bypass the pedal, according to which operation mode it is working in. Talking about the operation modes, it has 3 operation modes: dual mode, stomp mode, and the browsing mode. For the dual mode, you will find 2 slots that can be changed by using the foot switch to change from channel A to channel B. On the stomp mode, we will have a 3rd dedicated slot that can be engaged or bypassed using the foot switch. Finally, the browsing mode allows the change of the captures on the 3 slots, 2 from the dual mode and 1 from the stomp mode. To enter on the dual mode, you need to engage the global setup mode by pressing the out button and holding it for 6 seconds. The out LED will blink in blue, and if you rotate the knob of bass counterclockwise, you access the dual mode. The knob will blink in green. If you rotate the bass knob clockwise, it will enter in stomp mode, blinking the knob in orange. To access the browse mode, you need to press at the same time the out button and the foot switch. At this mode, you'll be able to navigate for each slot through the 20 captures stored inside your TONEX, differentiating them by the color of the preset on the knob. To change which slot you want to edit, you just need to click on the foot switch. Back to the global setup mode, you can also turn on the capsyn in all captures by rotating the mid knob counterclockwise. It will blink in green. If you rotate it clockwise, it will turn off the capsyn, and the knob will blink in red. Finally, you will find also one of the most important controls of this pedal, the trim level. Rotating the treble knob, you can adjust the input level to guarantee that you have a balanced input, not so silent and also not clipping. When the knob will blink in red, it means it is clipping, so you need to reduce the input level by rotating the treble knob. If the signal will not be enough, the knob will be in light green. On top of that, you can use the out button by pressing it for 3 seconds to freeze the knob setting on the safe mode. Now let's talk about the connectivity and captures load. For that, you need to download the TONEX software from IK Multimedia, which you can find for free on their product manager or at their website. After you have it installed, you need to log in at the ToneNET with your IK Multimedia account, which after registering the TONEX ONE for warranty will enable you access to the full library of free captures. To connect the TONEX ONE, you simply need to plug the USB-C port on the down part of the pedal at any USB-C port of your computer. Unfortunately, it doesn't work with USB regular ports, and also it doesn't connect to mobile applications. Be aware of that. When you will connect, the TONEX software will recognize it, and you have even the option to use your TONEX ONE as audio interface for guitar recording, which is a really cool feature. To monitor the sound of what you're playing, you can use the output jack of the TONEX with your monitoring headphones, as it balances the output impedance. Another really cool feature of the TONEX ONE. In addition, I'll take the opportunity to mention that the same output jack can be also used to extract sound in stereo by using a TRS cable. Now that we are inside the TONEX app with our pedal plugged, you'll find three main screens, starting by Home, in which you'll be able to test the sound of the captures that are on your computer and manage where to store the captures you download. Notice that the app also provides you a list of cool amps for free as a plugin, so if it will be useful to you, enjoy it also. The second screen is the Librarian, which is exactly the screen in which you will be able to transfer captures to your TONEX ONE. On the lower part, we'll find the list of available captures based on your downloads. You can simply drag and drop it on one of the 20 slots available at the TONEX ONE. You can filter which category of capture you are looking for choosing on the lower left corner of the screen. Finally, the third screen is the ToneNET list, in which you will find more than 15,000 free captures to download. All the captures that you download will later appear on your Librarian screen, on the list below. Now we need to understand a little bit how to interpret what is inside each of the captures. Every capture has three main factors: stomp, amp, and cab. You will find captures that have only the stomp, acting exactly as a picture of the pedal with one specific setting. The amp, which is the preamp session, or the head, that needs to be combined with a cab or a cab scene, and finally the cab. For the captures which have amp plus cab, you have the option to turn off the original cab of the capture and add your own IR, using your custom IR option on the drop list above. Notice that all the other settings, EQ, reverb, noise gate, compression, volume, and gain, they are all effective until a certain level, as the TONEX ONE runs captures and not algorithms to simulate the original circuits of the devices in which they are based on. Now, it is only dragging and dropping the tones which you like most and enjoying your new range of tones. Before we jump to my perception about this product, after the first weeks playing on it, I would like to share with you a nice hack to have a third available slot to navigate through. If you will keep the TONEX ONE on browsing mode, you are able to navigate through 3 slots of captures, enabling you more flexibility, but not allowing you to change the standard parameters of the capture. Now, here are my 50 cents about this product. Is it incredible? Yes, it is for sure. It is perfect as everyone said till now? Definitely not. The compact interface brings lots of unpractical situations in which simply makes necessary to always edit your settings through the computer. The mini knobs are already uncomfortable by design, but the fact that you need to use the Alt button to alter between the dual functions makes it really difficult to do subtle changes, as the alternative position of the knobs create abrupt modification on the other parameter also. On top of that, the browsing mode is simply not practical. We will not be able to remember the colors of the 20 different presets, especially because the range of colors in the palette for 20 slots force lots of colors to be really similar. In this sense, we'll probably need to use the computer to change the presets, especially on environments with lots of daylight. Another thing that bothered me a lot was the really poor instructions about which software you need to make the system run well, and how to enable all the functions available at IK Multimedia and ToneNET. The manual is superficial and brings almost no info about it. In addition, if you intend to sell your TONEX ONE, you need to run a process of deregistering the product, so the new owner of the product will be able again to register it with the same serial number and have the full access to the ToneNET. In addition, the USB-C connector is a really good thing, showing companies like DC Electronics and Strymon that it is a shame to still provide products with micro USB ports. But not allowing it to use USB-C, USB regular cable is a problem for some people which doesn't have many USB-C ports at their own computers. It is worth the price? Hell yeah! Talking about price, the TONEX ONE still goes by the price of $199, including already the taxes, which is a crazy deal in terms of cost-benefit relation. So crazy that the majority of the official sellers are already out of stock for months ahead, as the success at the pre-order was huge. And do you know what could be the easiest way to get your TONEX ONE? Becoming a member of the channel and having a chance to win a TONEX ONE at our giveaway. You will also be able to have early access to videos, full DIY projects videos, download exclusive Thank G captures, and much more. You can become a member clicking join below or using the QR code at the corner of this video. Now it is your turn. Let me know in the comments below what do you think about this huge hype on the TONEX ONE. Do you agree with it? And as always, if this video was helpful to you somehow, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the like button so YouTube can share this video with many other people. I'll catch you on the next. Keep on rocking.